Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixelriffs, our writer is LoyXP, captions on this video were provided by Liara. And what is the most unique collectible you got in Season 9? Also, can I submit the whole Empire's base as my one? Trust me, this question will come back in today's video in almost the spookiest of circumstances. But on top of that, we have ancient Cub fan boss battles, 2-on-2 PvP violence, and of course the whole entire Joe Hills coming up. Oh, and did we mention that Scar has finished his first ever Minecraft castle? Anyway, my bid is being challenged by Liara and the ZF plush based on a skin she designed. So let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week before Zloy brings up his signed Minecon poster and this office completely devolves into a bragging war. Starting with Cubfan, who, as part of his Week of Infrastructure initiative, has taken the road less travelled and put some lichen on it. No, for real, Cub has outlined the shopping district pavement with glow lichen to help with spawn proofing or at least night lighting the pedestrians. His efforts to make the server easier to navigate extend even to the farther reaches of the Nether, where one carpeted road to the outskirts is finally encased in a proper tunnel. With that threatening stretch now ghast-proof, Cub also follows up on the TCG Victory Road tunnel from last week. That one is much more robust, colourful and stripy, kind of like flying through a clown zebra.
So that was Monday and Tuesday to make this tunnel. It was quite an endeavor getting, all the terracotta, all the concrete and stuff like that, but it was a fun time.
The path serves him well. Joe Hills actually shows up to challenge the Pharaoh badge and is the first to face the barrage of unique game mechanics. Their epic match has a whole separate video dedicated somewhere on the VOD channels.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna draw a card and end my turn.
Okay. We're caught in a galactic stalemate here, it seems, as neither of us can attack.
Not quite as complex is the minigame Azuma Void came up with. Basically, you can break scaffolding under yourself faster than your player lands on it. So the idea is that several players race each other to the floor from a scaffolding tower, but you also have to stay alive to win.
You can also come down too fast, right? And
Yeah,
when
they
you do
fall
that,
down.
you take damage.
What do we stand to win here, Asuma? It
Yeah,
feels
I
like
want
you're the
something. I
only one
want
who's winning.
something.
I don't know. I didn't have a prize in mind. You get bragging rights that you beat the others. Yeah.
Really, downwards momentum seems to be a theme in Azuma's video for the week, given that gravity is a necessary part of his new chicken farm design.
Yes, after we built last episode's monstrosity of a farm, Cybot showed me this concept using cobwebs for the baby chickens to traverse downwards.
The idea has actually already been brought to Hermitcraft by Tango Tech as part of a minigame for a previous season, spawning chickens into a cobweb tower, then letting them descend for 20 minutes. Eventually they grow old, they land in an autocooker. It won't be winning any scaffold games anytime soon, but it's fun to look at least. With his tar and feathers restocked, X is ready to open his floor over at iBuy. Or rather, ceiling, now that's installed. His moody quarters actually house every variant of the automated shulker picker machine from last week. Long story short, expect an item in the bagging area. But this is also where we get to a more mysterious side of the week, as a cart demanding Azuma's most prized possession appears at his base. Okay, who we guessing? Grian, Cleo, or Zedaf behind this? Azuma actually puts down a lodestone compass leading to his item of choice instead of just letting the perpetrator have it. By contrast, Gemini Tay surrenders one of her etho heads, and Scar puts his cat. Which is a shame because he really needs a cat around, with the creepers randomly employing themselves at his ice cream parlor.
Why is there a charge creeper of all things in my restaurant selling ice cream sandwiches?
To give the pests more places to spawn, Mr. Good Times completes the final section of his Jellyland castle, and you've got to admit, this is not your average cat tree. The final spires complete the stone grey to bone white gradient and point the azure peaks to the sky. Also, Cub has delivered on the fireworks systems, so the grand opening of the place promises to be extra grand. Not that it is advised to grand open the castle yet, seeing as how there's not really anything inside it.
Which I think actually looks pretty cool. It's one of the drawbacks of Minecraft right now is we don't have a lot of blue blocks, sadly. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we had more blue blocks in the game? Well, I have you here. Minecarts that can couple together so you can make a whole train of minecarts. Now that would be amazing.
In the meantime, his shouts for help have been heard, and Cleo fills in the armor stand visitors for the Grand Castle's front porch. Gem does her own armor standing in more ways than one. Sure, there is the hanging of the armory over the training grounds at her elven village with the armor stand book, but also look at these giant statues that are wearing armor and also standing, and it's her.
I'm not gonna say those are my best Minecraft legs I've ever done. They're definitely not quite proportioned right.
Though it feels like forever ago, Jem remembers the Archer statue design from the beginning of the season and modifies it to install at her castle base, aiming this time not at the alien neighbour but at the passing ships, it seems. Another statue like that is put in across the harbour with a sword, seemingly to remind people that she will take their head when given an opportunity. We all know how it went for Mumbo the other day, and Ethos one is clearly her most prized possession, so you get what's coming to Impulse SV after Jem discovers the minor rebranding he applied to her base.
I see that there has been a potential retaliation. Okay, this man really rebranded my elven castle to be... He took my diamonds! You know, this wasn't here when I did the Etho thing, so I'm wondering if he was decorating and he just came up to my dining room. I haven't cleaned up for my intro yet.
Anyhow, Azuma is not the only one offering an intense shopping experience, since Tango Tech has implemented about as much, if not more, redstone at the tail end of his Decked Out 2 minigame. To remind you, every run of the Decked Out dungeon is meant to finish with a shopping trip where the player spends or discards all of their hard-earned frost embers. But instead of trusting the player to do their own math, Tango makes it so that the cards they cannot afford don't even show up as an option when you enter the store.
Oh, we got a fish there too. Okay, watch this. Watch. Wait for it. Love everything about this. And I should say there's plenty of room for expansion. I think I have like 5 empty slots on each side here still, so plenty of room. We can add a lot more rare cards and a lot more uncommon cards as the game progresses.
Many an item filter ensures that the artifacts retrieved are traded fairly, and to be absolutely certain that the spoils don't live with the hermit, the shopping trip actually kills them by the end of their run. Not that there's a shortage of that, as testing the first level against a Zedaf shows that the rest of the game murders him just as well. Special shoutout goes to the one Ravager who tried stealth, the impassable Frozen River parkour bridge, and of course the final boss battle against a 1x1 hole.
Tango!
Thus concludes your run of Decked Out, sir.
I've fallen in the hole and I can't get out.
Hold on, look up at me. I want a picture of this because this is good.
Wait!
Joe Hills returns with an episode stitched together from over a month of events, beginning with archive footage of Doc M releasing Wardens onto the Nether Roof, 1930 brackets colorized, and ending with a hole that's a little larger than a cubic meter.
He put out an all-points bulletin saying, "Oi, you lot, come help me with all of these wardens up on the roof then." M77 left all the wardens up on the roof, unloaded the chunks, and then they all escaped from this machine. Oh, oof.
More blasts from the past come from a trip to the Christmas district the Empire's SMP crew built, although that's just scrounging for totems of undying, which come in handy when he borrows some sponges from iJevin to clean out the rest of his half-flooded pinball machine, and Jev wants them returned with interest.
Howdy, Jev. How you doing? You have voice chat installed, maybe? I don't know if you do.
Joe loses to Zombie Cleo in the first round of the TCG tournament and is unable to defeat Cub fans' Pharaoh challenge, although at least he can have a weekly rematch against the latter. It gives him all the more time to mine out the remaining material from the deep field enclosure, shulker box it up, and drop it off in the dumpster behind Scarland. Storage is the key to Impulse SV's existence, as well as he redesigns his entire storage system in an epic time-lapse, replacing it with basically a more impulse-proof version of the same design by Mazuma Games, and leaving himself with room for expansion. He adds some touches of his own, including a shulker loader in one corner where the overflow items can be boxed up, and bravely using glazed terracotta for some of the floor detail.
What a difference the floor makes. And we've got our old floor back, kind of the same palette, different pattern. I think it looks even better this time around, I must say so myself.
In order to witness this floor, people will first have to find the entrance. He also reimagines the way to access the storage area, removing the staircases from the first floor of the Dwarven Keep and replacing them with a discreet tower of scaffolding. And with that done, he has room to oversee more construction at iBuy, where Azuma's needs outgrew the booth that was already built, so he's given the entirety of Floor 4 to outfit as he wants. A few more of the Hermit's alternate outfits are showcased by Vintage Beef, who unveils the completed Goatfather and Jingler cards before giving us a rundown of all the Alter Ego expansions, attacks, and abilities. But there's barely time to do that before he's whisked away to hear XB Crafted read some poetry at him and 1v1 Pharaoh Cub fan at his own pyramid.
This is intimidating already. I feel like I've already lost and we haven't even started.
Greetings, mortal. Are you prepared to meet the Pharaoh?
I think so. I'm going to try my best.
All right.
The second coolest part is it means playing against a card Beef has never seen before, despite having created this whole game. The coolest part is that he wins, becoming the first person to unseat the Pharaoh and earn some fancy headgear. The success of the card game and the imminent expansion pack being more or less complete has even given him the opportunity to move to the country and build his own house, so Beef picks out a spot in a distant taiga biome before returning to the fray with Azuma in a 2v2 match against XB and Cubfan. The 2v2 scene is on the rise, with XB Crafted posting a few extra matches this week, but in his main episodes he makes some adjustments to the custom-built arena for easier orientation, decorates the grounds around the outside, and outlines the official rules so he doesn't have to be there rules lawyering every match. There's even a special rule at the end of the book if you're a cat who feels like playing chicken with curiosity.
If Etho is reading this, he is now limited to 1 hermit slot. Or can you? I'm not sure why someone would scroll this far. I did that to make people scroll that far.
Later, a mysterious set of signs at his base offer a prize if he reveals the coolest item he owns this season, and quite flatteringly, he considers my head as an option, before throwing down his Scarland VIP pass instead. Back in the singles tournament, XB faces off against Zombie Cleo in the semi-finals, a game which terminates in possibly the first case of cardboard seppuku we've seen. Really puts paper cuts into perspective.
At least I gave you the thing for his... Got him.
Oh no!
Kill myself, deal damage, and resign.
She's
Knocking
falling on her
yourself out.
sword.
She's falling on her sword. Oh, that's a
Well done,
bummer.
XP. There is literally nothing I could have done. I was just completely decked out. Like, not
Yeah.
decked out.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is Pixorifs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.